Again, for the story, A Tale of Two Cities, it's written by Charles Dickens. Listen to me to know more about Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens, his full name is Charles John Haffam Dickens. Charles John Haffam Dickens. He was born on 7th of February 1812, and he died in 9th of June 1870. Yes, Omar? Omar Ahmed, yes.
Yes, Mr. طلعت سنتين.
Yes, okay.
Yes, Mr. Also in some of his novels or books, he used to describe about the things that happen in his life, the things that happen in the city, in England, in West England. He used to describe these things in his novels.
Yes, well done, Omar. Yes, as we said together, for most of the novel that is written by Charles Dickens, he tried to reflect his bad circumstances or bad conditions that he suffered from. Okay, Omar? Thanks so much for your adding. Let me complete for this part again, Omar, okay? For Charles Dickens, he was born, again, sorry, his full name at first. His full name is Charles John Haffam Dickens. He was born on 7th of February 1812 and died in 9th of June 1870. He was an English writer and a social critic. He created some of the world's best-known fictional characters and is regarded as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. At the 12th age, Dickens left school to work in a factory. As we said, he suffered from his bad circumstances, from his bad conditions, because of his father's death. As we know, his father was a wine drinker. Despite his lack of formal education, he edited a weekly journal for 20 years. He wrote 15 novels, hundreds of short stories, and non-fiction articles. Lectured and performed extensively, was an tireless letter writer, and campaigned vigorously for children's right education and other social reforms. This is what we have about Charles Dickens. But what about the story? The title of this novel, A Tale of Two Cities. What do I mean by the two cities here? Do you have any information? Huh? Okay, let me complete. The two cities that we have here is London and Paris. So the two countries will be, who can tell me? If I say,
Paris?
yes, so the
One
two
in Paris and
countries,
one in
again, the
London.
two cities will be London and Paris. So the two countries will be,
each country will have one character.
again, the two cities are London and Paris. So the two countries will be,
Enemies?
the two countries will be
England and
England
France.
and France. Yes, well done. England and France. So take care of this point. The two cities that story talking about London and Paris, and the two countries will be France and London, France and England. Okay. For this story, what happened and what is this story? What this story is talking about? This story is talking about the bad conditions that the people suffered in France before the French Revolution. So the events, or I mean the setting of the story, the first setting is in France, in the city of Paris. The people suffered a lot from the bad treatment by the kingdom at this time. They suffered from the aristocratic family at this time. They treated with them like rats, like dogs that can be. Yes, for the one who write. Yusuf what? Yusuf Mustafa? Yes, Yusuf. Yes, okay. Yusuf. Yes. Okay, Yusuf, no problem.
Okay.
Yes, mister, for the one who wants to ask.
Ahmed Durubi is saying in the group that he is waiting in the
Is in the waiting
waiting
room?
you to enter him. He says that the internet cuts him out.
Okay, but he didn't try to join. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay. He wrote in which group? Homework?
No, Mr. He wrote in the group of us, the class, together.
The class. Okay. Yes. Okay. 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 Can we complete our session? For the story A Tale of Two Cities, we know that the people suffered a lot at this time from the bad treatment by the kingdom or by the aristocratic family or the royal family at this time. They treated people like a rat that can be killed or that can be that the carriage can pass over them. They treated them with no mercy. They can't find even the simple life for maybe for having a food, for having a drink, for having any simple way of life. They suffered a lot at this time. So the people decided to make a revolution, as we know by the end of this story. Yes, Ahmed, join now. Okay, by the end. Okay, Ahmed, I understand your problem. I understood your problem, Ahmed Ruby. Ahmed.
What, Mr.?
Okay, I know your problem. Okay, I know your problem about the internet. Okay, thanks so much for telling me. The novel tells us the story of the French doctor whose name Dr. Manet. Dr. Manet. Dr. Manet, he was put. Yes.
Is this novel about a story that we will take?
Again.
This is a story.
Yes, novel that will take this year. A Tale of Two Cities. Okay.
And this story, its genre is novel.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But I prefer to use the word story. Okay. Okay. The same meaning, story like novel, but as we know, novel is a long story. Okay. You follow me, Muhammad?
Yes.
As the novel tells us the story of the French doctor. So we have a story about the doctor that is called Dr. Manet. Dr. Manet was put in the prison for about 18 years with no crime. He didn't do anything. Okay, but we'll know more details about this situation in our story when we start reading. Okay, he was put in the prison that is called the Bastille. Bastille, this is the name of a prison in Paris. Okay, you follow me?
Why, Mr.? Why he's put in the prison?
We have a long story about this part, and we'll know this part in the second term, not now. So I don't prefer to talk about this point now. Okay. Okay, just only on an introduction about the story. Okay. This is the first character that we have, Dr. Manet. As we said, he was put in the prison for 18 years, and he suffered a lot in the prison of Bastille. After he got out from the prison, he started to forget anything, and he worked as a showmaker in the wine shop. In the wine shop, the owner of the wine shop is Monsieur Defarge. We can find that we have some French words, you know, because as we said, the story happened where, the first sitting that we have, Paris, yes?
But yes,
yes, so we have some French words in our story, like Monsieur, okay? Monsieur Defarge was the owner of the wine shop. He was the assistant of Dr. Manet, okay? Dr. Manet, after getting out from the prison, he stayed at a room, he stayed in a room at the wine shop, okay? And Monsieur Defarge took care of Dr. Manette at this time, okay? For Dr. Manette, he has a daughter that is called Lucy. Lucy didn't know anything about her father. She was brought up by Mr. Lorry. Mr. Lorry had or bring for her a woman that is called Miss Pross. Miss Pross take care of Lucy and brought her up. You follow me? You follow me? After
Yes.
Dr. Manette joined, after Dr. Manette entered the prison, Mr. Lorry took care of Lucy. Okay? You follow me, grade 8 or no?
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Okay, I hope that you understood what I say. Okay. For Lucy, she asked about, Mr. Lorry told Lucy that her father is still alive. Okay. At first, Lucy didn't believe. So they decided to travel together to Paris to try to find her father. Okay. After they found Dr. Manette or Lucy's father, they decided to take him to England with her to live with her in London, okay, or at London, okay. Follow me, grade 8.
Yes.
Yes, okay. I hope that this part summarizes the main details of this story, but we need to, inshallah, when we start reading next week, chapter 1 by 1, or chapter by chapter, we'll start to understand more details about this part, okay? We can read what I have explained, then I'll show you a part of a video or movie about this story to understand more, okay? At first, some information about Charles Dickens. Yes, Omar, can you read?
Mhm.
Can you read, huh? Omar Ahmed?
Yes, Mr.
Yes, start reading, please.
Charles Dickens. Charles John Hatham Dickens. He was born on the 7th of February 1812 and died on 9th June 1870. Was an English writer and social critic.
Yes.
He created some of the world's best non-fictional characters and is regarded as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. At the 12th age, Dickens left school to work in a factory because of his father's death.
His father dead.
Despite his life,
Listen to me. The B here silent, so we can say his father dead. Okay.
his father's death.
Yes.
Okay. Despite his lack of formal education, he edited a weekly journal for 20 years, wrote 15 novels, hundreds of short stories and non-fiction articles.
Yes.
Lectured and performed extensively.
Yes.
Was an tireless writer and campaigned vigorously for children's rights, education, and other social reforms.
Thanks so much, Shoma. This is some information about Charles Dickens, but now we have some information about, or an introduction about the story of A Tale of Two Cities. Muhammad Mustafa, can you read?
Okay. A Tale of Two Cities is an 1859 historical novel by Charles Dickens, set in London and Paris before and during the French Revolution.
So this is the setting of the story, the time and place. The time that we have 1859 and the place London and Paris. Yes, Muhammad, go on.
The novel tells the story of the French doctor Manette,
Dr. Manette.
his 18-year-long
imprisonment
in the
Bastille
Bastille in
Huh.
Paris, and his release to live in London with his daughter Lucy, whom he had never met.
Yes, as we said, he was put into prison for 18 years and he didn't see his daughter. As we said together that his daughter, or sorry, Mr. Barry told her that her father is still alive and he knows some information that he stayed at sorry, in a room at the wine shop of Monsieur Defarge. So they decided to travel to Paris to bring her father and live with her in London. Yes, Muhammad, complete.
The story is set against the conditions that led up to the French Revolution and the Reign of Terror.
Yes. For the story, as we can know, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the season, sorry, this is by mistake. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. In short, I mean here in a simple way, the period was so far like the present period that some of its nicest authorities insisted on its being received for good or for evil in the separative degree of comparison only. This is what I said, that something and the opposite of it, the best, worst, yes? You can see light, darkness, spring and winter, yes? Grade 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
I should now show you a video about an introduction for the novel to understand more. Just pay attention. If you can't hear, please tell me, okay? If you can't hear, tell me. At first, I share the sound with you. You can see the video in front of you. I mean the program itself.
Yes.
Okay. You can hear?
Yes.
happening here? Who is making that abominable noise?
Sorry, monsieur, we have struck a child, I believe.
This is Monsieur Defarge, the owner of the wine shop.
He's dead. The coach struck him.
Monsieur Defarge, the owner of the wine shop. Gaspard, this is one of the people that the carriage of the royal family, I mean here, is the Marquis. Marquis is one of the royal family. His carriage passed over this child, the son of Gaspard. Gaspard tried to take the revenge, as we know when we read the story together.
This man is the father. Really, it is extraordinary to me that you people cannot take care of yourselves. Or your children. Always in the way. How do I know what injury you may have done to my horses? Here, give him that.
Be brave, Gaspard. It is better for the poor little one to die so than to live in times such as these. He died quickly, without pain. Could you have lived an hour as I believe?
Oh, you are a philosopher, monsieur. How do they call you?
Defarge,
Of what trade?
a vendor of wine. That is my shop.
Well, philosopher and vendor of wine. Pick up that and spend it as you will.
This woman is Madame Defarge. Madame Defarge is the wife of Monsieur Defarge. She suffered a lot from the royal family after her sister's death. It also has a story about the circumstances or conditions of her sister's death. We know these details also in the second term, not now.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
Royal George, Dover. Royal George.
Thank you, sir.
This is Mr. Lorry. Mr. Lorry was working at Tellson's bank. He was the one who took care of Lucy after her father was put in the prison. He was Dr. Manette's friend.
Good morning to you, sir. I am Jarvis Lorry of Tellson's Bank. I am looking for a young lady, Miss Lucy Manette. Can you tell me where?
There, sir.
I beg your pardon?
There, sir. Directly behind you. Taking tea with her companion.
Miss Lucy?
Mr. Lorry.
This is Miss Lucy, or I can say Lucy Manette, the daughter of Dr. Manette. The daughter of Dr. Manette.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
You know Miss Pross, don't you?
Oh, pleasure, ma'am. As always.
The old woman, as we can see in the video, this is Miss Pross. Miss Pross is the one who brought up Lucy when she was young, the one who take care of Lucy. And she considered her as her tutor. She can't accept anyone who tries to annoy her.
What is truth all about Mr. Lorry. The letter said it was of the utmost importance.
Quite true. Although I must confess it's such an astounding revelation that indeed, I hardly know how to tell you.
Is it something so dreadful?
On the contrary, it's wonderful news. You were too young to remember, of course, your father being thrown into prison. At that time, any French nobleman could imprison any French citizen with no questions asked.
Does this concern my father's estate?
No, not his estate. He left you enough to live comfortably, as we both know. Oh, Miss Lucy.
Courage, Mr. Lorry.
Your father, my dear child, your father has been found.
What?
Alive. He was left to die in prison. He did not die.
Where is he?
He's been taken to the house of an old servant of his in Paris, a man by the name of Defarge. It is in this house, above a wine shop, that we can find him. Will you be able to leave with me on the packet boat tomorrow? Oh, Miss Lucy.
Good heavens, look what you've done. Did you have to frighten?
As we listened together from Mr. Lorry, he told Lucy that her father is still alive. We know together that they decided to travel to Paris to bring her father and to live with them in London. You follow me, grade 8 or no?
Yes, Mister.
I hope that
Yes,
you pay
Mister, we are
attention.
following you.
You understood what I say or no?
Mister, I have a
Yes,
question.
Yes.
Yes, what's your question? The one who have a question. The one who has a
Mister,
question, please.
I'm Yusuf Rafat. My question is, what was the name of Louis' father's, Mrs. Louis' father?
Lucy?
Yes.
Lucy's father, Dr. Manette.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Manette. Okay, this one is called Mr. Jarvis Lorry. Okay, he was an official at Tellson's Bank. Okay, Miss Pross, as we said, Miss Pross, the one who take care of Lucy Manette after her father was put in the prison. You follow me?
Yes.
Let's complete listening.
The child to death? What sort of a banker are you? Fetch the vinegar.
As we can see together in this part of the video, the people couldn't find what they need for their simple life, even the food. As we can see together, they lived bad circumstances. They lived a bad condition. They suffered a lot. Even the simple things or to live well or to have, for example, the simple life or drink, they couldn't find. They tried to dip their hands in the wine or drink.
Gaspard, what are you doing? Do you want to go to a mental hospital? Move on.
Do you remember this man at the beginning of the video, Gaspard? Huh?
His child is dead by the courage of
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
كل عام وانتم بخير يا رب.
وحضرتك طيب المسلمين.
كل عام وانتم بخير يا ولاد. أنا سعيدة عليكم إن شاء الله بالتوفيق يا رب كده بإذن الله. اتفضلوا.
Okay, grade 8. Do you remember Gaspard at the beginning of this video?
Mister, he's the one who carried a small kid.
Yes, the one who was carrying a small child there, or the younger child. He was his son, yes? As we said, that the royal family treated with the people in a bad way, yes? We know that his son was killed under the carriage, yes? Yes?
Yes.
So why you wrote this word plot?
Because he needs the revenge from the royal family. It's written, I think it's blood.
Excellent, yes. So he decided to take the revenge from the monarchy. So he writes this word as a warning for what he will do. He will take the revenge from the royal family by killing the marquis. This we'll know in chapter 5. Okay, you follow me? Huh? Grade 8?
Yes.
Any
Yes,
problem
sir.
till now? Do you have any problem?
No.
You understood what I said?
Yes.
Okay, let's complete lesson for this part.
The wine's outside. There was an accident. Did you hear me?
As we can see for Madame Defarge, she is always knitting. Why the woman at this time, I mean all the women at this time were knitting? Because we can say, as they wrote in the story, instead of moving their mouths by food, or drink, they move their hands by knitting, as we can see in the video.
Yeah, here.
This indicates for their bad circumstances, their bad conditions.
Monsieur Lolly?
Indeed.
The lodging you wish to see is on the second floor, if you will come with me.
Is he alone?
Alone? God help him, sir. Who should be with him?
Is the door locked?
Always?
Why?
Why? Because he's lived so long locked up alone in prison that he would rave and tear himself to pieces if this door were left open. Doctor?
As we said together, they decided to travel from England to Paris to find or to meet Dr. Manette, the father of Lucy. Okay, you follow me?
Yes.
This the old man is Dr. Manette. Let's listen for this part.
Good day, Dr. Manette. Still hard at work, I see.
Yes, I am working.
May I let in a little more light, Doctor? Doctor, you have visitors.
What is that?
There is someone here to see you. Tell this gentleman what kind of shoes you make.
Shoes?
Can you describe the shoes for this gentleman?
He can't remember anything, or we can say he couldn't remember anything. When they asked him about his name, he will say the name of the room where he was staying in the prison, 105. Let's listen together.
They are ladies' shoes.
And the maker's name?
Name? You ask my name?
Yes.
105 North Tower.
Sir.
This is the room where he was staying in the prison, 105 North Tower.
Do you not remember me?
You are the jailer's daughter. you? I don't.
What?
He had a piece of Lucy's hair when she was young. He was finding the same hair of Lucy as the same that he had.
You see?
The same hair that he had.
It's the same. How can this be? Just so long ago.
We are going to stop now as our session finished. I hope that you enjoyed and understood what I explained in this part. Do you have any question?
Yes,
Grade 8. Okay. Now you have, okay, Mr. Said is you now, okay? Or you have biology, I don't know.
Oh, we have biology.
Biology.
Okay, Mr. Said join again, don't know why. Okay, I'll ask him on the WhatsApp, okay? Stop recording. Okay, for this part of video, I send it to you, inshallah, okay?